Hey, Shalom Akim Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, whatever it may be. This is just another lesson through the spirit. It says they're fed up with their government, a continual stroke. According to Isaiah, the 14th chapter, I believe it's the 8th verse, when it goes that he's basically beat the people with the continuous stroke. In this video, which is uploaded by GMS, Inspiration of the Almighty, basically the brother, he puts little clips up of people with the discrepancies with Esau's society, and his own people is even coming against him, okay? Because we always go into that there will be a war between the have and the have-nots. What is it? Damn, I lost my train of mind. Fuck, man, we need new bodies. But anyway, yeah, going into the war of the have and have-nots, because one thing about the elites, they didn't share the wealth among their people. Okay, they've delegated wealth among the families, but they didn't delegate it among their actual citizens. So you got actually Edomites that's working 2-3 jobs a week just to barely pay the damn mortgage. You know, and basically in this video, it shows how the elites really feel about these people, even their own people. So how much more about us? Okay, they don't give a damn about the people. And this is why people are gearing up to rise up against them, because, you know, people have had it. Okay, people can't even afford they can't even afford rent. Like I got my energy bill the other day, with my gas bill. And I'm like, it's 2024. The fuck, people still using gas? I'm like, dude, everything is converted over to electricity. But because the house doesn't hold heat that well, because the windows are huge and, you know, it's an older building, you know, this heat is constantly have to run every so often, man. And I get my bill and I'm like, how the hell is this bill? My bill jumped up maybe 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. My bill jumped up like $65 in 1 month. You know what I'm saying? And the apartment is not even that big, for real. I mean, literally, like, this place should hold heat easily. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want to do any repairs or anything like that or new. It's really the windows. I don't want to seal the cracks around the windows because they're older. But all of a sudden, I get down there $120 fucking gas bill. And I'm like, this ain't even a big crib. How in the hell am I paying that? You know? But that's the average. That's just the common denominator now. Okay, the average person is dealing with that on a huge scale because energy prices have went up. You know, Esau has used it based on the weather, based on the trends in weather, you know, going back into 2021 when you had that polar vortex that hit over Texas, which I believe that was weaponized. And then all of a sudden they came out with these particular peak price. Like here in Missouri, they got what they call off-peak hours. When basically off-peak hours, when you use your energy, then it's a lot cheaper. But you have peak hours, which is between the hours of 4 and 8, which everybody consumes energy. So their justification is the grid being overloaded. But that's bullshit, man. You just use that to justify going up on prices to charge the consumer, you know. So people are pretty much they're at a stalemate. They're like, you know, fuck this shit, man. You know, so anyway, without further delay, I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of the video. It's around 11 minutes long, so I'm not gonna play the entire video, but we can interject from here in between, and you know, we get the precepts. So here we go.
And all you poor fuckers out there, you know, and we're gonna show that's pan down. Move a little more. That's what Christmas is supposed to look like, you poor fucks. And if it doesn't look like there's about 300 presents here. If something ain't right, if your Christmas doesn't look like this.
Yeah, so that's Dan Penna. He is someone who endorsed Donald Trump. This is what they think of you. This is what they think of you. I don't even think I have to relay this message to the left like I have to MAGA, because you guys have become some of the biggest leather lickers, boot all up in your mouth. You guys defend these people. This is how they talk about you behind closed doors. They do this all the time, and then one of these videos slipped through the cracks for us to be able to see, and it exposes who these people actually are.
The woke has to stop, because along with everything else, it's destroying our country. We're going to stop woke. Woke is bullshit.
Donald Trump has been our president for over a month and hasn't done.
And you people fucking stupid. We told you that one shit gonna change. You know, we told you that the balance of this society hangs in the election according to these people, but regardless, it was through anyway. All right, and you heard what this guy said. He just made mockery of you. He called you a bunch of stupid poor fucks, man. Then he showed you a Christmas tree with 300 presents under it, which a lot of you idiots here have went down to these stores and went in credit card debt just to buy your little Rugrats something for Christmas. That's a bunch of fucking monsters any goddamn way, man. Like, I'm looking out the window here, and this Christmas spirit is dead. Okay, the Lord has totally took the spirit away from this place. Okay, here it looked like something from the Thriller out here last night. I mean, it was fog everywhere. It was just real dark and gloomy. And everybody rushing in and out of these stores to buy cheap-ass gifts that they can't even afford. You know, and it's no snow. There's no Christmas spirit out here. No lights. Nobody have Christmas lights up. I mean, a few people, but even then, it's not that 1990s Christmas when you sit back and watch the Nutcracker, or what's the name of that damn movie when the little boy put his tongue on a pole and got it stuck. You know, the Nutcracker, and watching Home Alone, eating cheese pizza, you know, with the big Christmas tree, playing the video. Them days are over with, man. Okay. I'm looking in the trash can from across the street. I don't see no gifts. You know, I see a lot of cars out here, people at home from work, but there's no... Back in the day when we was coming up, the garbage cans were packed full of shit, man. You see PlayStation and Nintendo 64 boxes everywhere, shoe boxes. Now you barely see any of this stuff. Okay? So you people are through, man. So anyway, let's get a precept real quick, because like I said, people have had it with Esau. They're ready to rise up against him because, you know, they felt that they've been unjustly given. And it is the truth, but regardless of it, this society is through. Okay, it's on its last legs, and we're getting ready to get the hell up out of here. This is what happens when you have a wicked ruler, okay? They don't care about their people. So therefore, Yahweh Shai is getting ready to overturn our captivity and put us in the power seat. And we're going to rule this world of righteousness. And, hey, our kingdom going to be turned up, to say the least. We're going to have a great goddamn eternity. And I can't even put a fathom on it for real, because that's how great it's getting ready to be. So all this little minute bullshit we go through, it's going to pass, man. It is what it is. You know, this man is through. He ain't got that much longer to go. All right, so this is the book of Isaiah 13, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, "Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, and exalt the voice into them, and shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble." The banners is the scriptures, man. All right, the high mountain is talking about Babylon the Great, first and foremost. And it says, exalt the voice into them, and shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble. So when you catch us on the streets and we're speaking the word on the highways and hedges week in and week out, this is a reminiscent of this scripture. And this is why elites are running nervous, because now chariots are popping up in their shit. And it's based on the words in which we speak, because now they have to look at us like, okay, these guys are on to something. They know something. They've been prophesying this for some time, and now all of a sudden things are starting to happen. They've been saying we were going to go down for the longest, and now we're going down. So the elites are afraid. But it says here, I've commanded my sanctified ones, okay, which is the men of the Lord. And it says, and I've also called my mighty ones for my anger, which are the angels, and even them that rejoice in my highness. All right. And I'm going to go down to verses. Let's start at verses. The whole chapter is really good. But let's start at verses 9. It says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and with fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he should destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof should not give their light. The sun should be darkened in its going forth, and the moon should not cause our light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. Okay, and we're seeing the wicked of the iniquity of the wicked being all around us, man. This is why the scriptures say that evil compasses good. Okay, therefore the law is slack, therefore unrighteous judgment proceeded. Because if you're a ruler, you're supposed to share your wealth with the people, especially the poor of your people. Okay, not one Edomite should have a 9-to-5 job, but you got Edomites working more overtime than Jakes now. Okay, because now them curses are, it's like flip-flop. But it reads, and it says, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And you heard what that devil say. He said, you poor fucks out there. But yeah, they're poor because you're taking money from the people. Okay, you got the billionaires have these big tax breaks. You know, they're not paying any taxes. And then I'm finding out that a lot of these newer and plush homes that they're building that you Edomites have, you ain't even paying property taxes on it. But yet they're charged Jake fucking 15% on the property tax for a house that's 100 years old, man, just to take it from them, just to tear it down. You see, but you Edomites, it's a wrap, man. This is as good as it's gotten for you. And unfortunately for you, it's getting ready to end. And it says here, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, and the terrible is you damn devils. And I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man of the golden wedge of Ophir, which is talking about the elect men of the Most High. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of our place, in the wrath of the Lord's host, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it should be as the chase row, and this is the point I wanted to make. The chase row, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, there should every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land. All right. So that's the point. It says a chase row. So you ever seen a deer that's being chased by a predator, whether it be a fucking lion or whatever, chasing a deer, they get up out of there. And this is how you Edomites are getting ready to be chased in the streets of America from all sides, man, from the rich of you to the poor, because the nations are rising up against you. And you small hats, hey, you number one on everybody's hit list, you know, because the nations have had enough of Amalek. Like this guy, B.B. Malakowski, he's going to call, who did he call? He called, I think, was it Ukrainians or some shit? Or no, not Ukraine, but what was it, Yemen? Or one of them, man, he called Amalek. And then he had a crazy smirk on his face. Like, nigga, you know you're Amalek. You're the Amalekite. Trying to project your heritage on somebody else. And that's scriptural. You know, the scripture said that they should name the lands after their own names, man, because they trying to hide who they are. But the world has woken up to who Amalek is. Now he can't hide. And it says, and it should be as the chase row, and as the sheep that no man take it up, and they shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land. So people are going to resort back to their own kind, and people are going to click up with their own kind, and then they're going to do as they please. All right. Let's go from here to the book of Job 18. This is the book of Job 18, and I'm going to start at verses 10. It says, the snare is laid for him on the ground, and a trap for him in the way. And terror should make him afraid on every side and should drive him to his feet, right? Because he has imminent threats of American soil being attacked, like this guy, Full Spectrum Survival. He was talking about Black Christmas and, you know, setting up no particular fly zones and all this other shit. And then he mentioned that it was going to be a violent Christmas, a Black Christmas or something, where people was going to be getting violent, but so far, so good. It's been quiet around these premises, but that doesn't mean that they're not plotting something big. All right. But it says here, his strength should be hunger bitten and destruction should be ready at his side. And it should devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death should devour his strength, which is Yahweh Shai, man, because the Lord is coming to take your kingdom. But before then, there's going to be a civil war on all sides on this place, not just in America, but in the UK. In the different European countries and the Arab, it's going to be, this whole world is going to descend into chaos. And it's pretty much already there. And it says, and his confidence should be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it should bring him to the king of terrors. And it should dwell in his tabernacle because because it is none of his. Brimstone should be scattered upon his habitation, which is the destruction. And his root should be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. And his remembrance should perish from the earth, and he should have no name in the street. Because like when you go into like these street names, a lot of them are named after Gadites, but a lot of them are named after Edomites too. You know, like when you go to made up street, like I came across the street, it was called like Poppenberger Lane or some shit. That sounds like a small hat or something. You know, Blumenbach Avenue or Bloomberg Avenue. You know, Oppenheimer Boulevard type shit. You ain't gonna have no fucking street names in the kingdom, nigga. You going in slavery. You and your people. You know? And it reads, and it says, and he should be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world, man. All right. And that starts on this side, because as I mentioned, people are revising, they're gonna start rousing up against their elites, man, because of the injustice. All right. Let's go from here real quick. Isaiah 19. And let's start at verses 2. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. You see? So that's going to end up, it's going to be a global wide phenomenon. because back a couple of years ago in France, they was I think they was protesting what they call pension reform or tax reform or some shit like that, because I believe they was trying to go up, or I think they was trying to take away from the pensions or something. I can't recall, but they was like, fuck that shit. So they started going against the government, man. You know, even the civil wars you had back in Greece years ago. You know, these Western nations are erupting in chaos, and they're overthrowing these leaders because these leaders ain't got the best interests of the people. But what are these stupid jarhead Americans are doing? You know, they sitting back, getting the little that they have taken from them, hoping that things will turn around, but it's too late, man. The fact that you have an Internal Revenue Service, or the fact that you have a Title 4D that they hang over your heads and you ain't done nothing about that yet, that shows that you people are fucking stupid and you deserve everything you got, man. Okay, letting these insurance companies rip you off, letting them put you into... You ain't supposed to be paying no goddamn mortgage or no fucking rent, man. You supposed to have the necessary land, the funds to build your own estate. Okay, government free, them out of your business. But what do? You get suckered into these politicians, which are bought and paid for, and then before you know it, you ain't nothing but a slave to debt. Now you want to complain about it fucking 30 years down the line because now the benefits are not what they used to be. You see, you people are mad now, man. You pissed off. Oh, I paid $1,500 a month for mortgage, and now you have a 960 square foot apartment. Well, that's your stupid ass, man. All right. So the hell with you people. And the spirit of Egypt fell in the midst thereof, and I would destroy the council thereof. Yeah, the councils, these politicians, man. You know, these leaders, these governors and shit like that. Even the council from the elites. All these things are getting ready to be confounded. And it says here, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to wizards, to their spirituality. You know, they're going to seek to the spirit world to figure out a solution for a fallen kingdom. But there's not going to be a solution because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is directly intervening in the affairs of men, man. Okay, so ain't no amount of witchcraft is going to uphold this place. The Titanic, this place is literally getting ready to go under the fucking water. All right, they're just holding it up. They have what they call life support. They're propping this shit up, man. But the minute they pull a plug on it, this shit is through, man. And before you know it, chaos is going to descend into the streets of America, and it's going to get very violent. You know, but you stupid Americans, man, you trying to hold out, hopefully that this nigga, this eagle-faced this eagle-faced demon Trump already said he can't get the fucking food prices down, and he might not be able to get the debt down. Trump, like, I don't know, it's going to be kind of hard, but yet he's talking about make America great again. No. Trump biggest thing is putting a chip in people, all right? Putting a microchip and plunging you into World War III. That's his agenda, elites. And the elites told him, they said, look, your first term, you didn't really get it done. We're going to give you another shot at it because you got the spirit to do so. So when they tried to take the nigga's head off, that was really a warning. That was the elite sending a message. That's all that was, because ever since then, there has not been another attempt on his life. Which somewhere down the line, they may try to assassinate him again. Who knows, man? But that was the elites giving him a warning message. Like, look, nigga, play ball or we gonna take your goddamn head off. That's all that was about. So this next administration, he's gonna have to make his move, or they may put a bullet in his head. You know, either way. But we just have to wait and see. But it says, and the Egyptians I will get over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, says the Lord, and the Lord of hosts, man. And it goes into how the economy is going to be dried up. So, yeah, man, I'm going to play a little bit more of this video, get one more precept, and that'll be that. So here we go.
Donald Trump has been our president for over a month and hasn't done one damn thing. All that he promised us Americans to get us to vote for him. Gas prices are still high. Still can't afford a carton of eggs. TikTok is getting banned next month. There are still illegals coming in. You can still go unalive your unborn child just because you decided to open your legs, not for any good reason. All these reasons that Americans have voted for Trump, and he hasn't done one damn thing.
The first thing to understand about Mr. Trump is that he does inhabit a completely different mental world, and he inhabits it naturally, and he inhabits it very gracefully. He lives in a world of fiction. Mr. Trump is not a traditional person who has made a career where he's had to deal with life around him. He's never actually been that successful in grappling with any particular element of reality. Where he has been successful is as a character on television. He's never been a successful businessman, but he has played a successful businessman on television. He understands not the rules of reality, but the rules of fiction. So for him, there's no such thing as lying, because there's no such thing as the truth. We're all just in this story together.
We are going to increase the debt ceiling, not just $4 trillion, that's false. We have spent $4.7 trillion in additional debt in the last 19 months. We're going to increase the debt by $5 trillion. That's what's going to happen right here by Republicans, increasing the debt $5 trillion. And what are you doing in the same bill? $110 billion unpaid for. Because you never have any ounce of self-respect to go out and campaign saying you're going to balance the budget, and then you come in here and pass $110 billion unpaid for.
President-elect Donald Trump's election win has been extremely profitable for Elon Musk, whose net worth has grown by $276 billion since November 5th. Steve, what do you...
Billionaires are running the show here.
God damn, $486 billion. That's wild, man. People were pissed the fuck off. Scripture say, though defraud a man of his living, people are defrauded at a living. That's Sirach, the 4th chapter. That's actually one of my favorite precepts to go to, for real. But anyway, this is 2nd Esdras 15, and I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for their destruction, and it says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up to fight against another with swords in their hand. This is civil war, man, all right? And people are at that point that they're not playing anymore. They're like, look, we go one more Thanksgiving without, we going to turn the fuck up. And see what he do, he give people bread and circuses to keep them appeased. He appeased people with bread and circus, so he's throwing a lot of mirth, a lot of basketball, a lot of football, you know, a lot of baseball. He's throwing all this shit at these people to keep them, bread and circus is basically, it's a high-powered drug, okay? And you continue to feed it to the people, and you give them more and more dosage, okay? You keep their dopamine you keep the dopamine receptors flooded, okay? Because once you're taking it all away, they're going to have what they call withdrawals. And people go batshit crazy when they go through withdrawals because their brain is trying to adjust back to the reality of it, man. And that's what's happening with the people. So he's feeding them more drugs by bread and circus. He's throwing little deals out there, you know, get half off this, half off that. And he's putting football in front of their face. And liquor is still cheap, relatively cheap. So as long as you got cheap liquor, cheap drugs, and you got football and people, they you know, hey, the Romans said it, give them bread and circus and they will never revolt. So eventually when he takes the bread and circus away, that's like trying to get a person off meth. They're going to go batshit crazy if they don't croak first. All right. But it says here, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another, and they should not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their acts shall stand in their power. They're going to say, look, we don't give a damn about what Trump says. We don't care about what anybody say. We going to get ours. Okay, you see what happened to that healthcare, that CEO dude, which that was some inside shit, you know, which they blamed this guy, Luigi Mangione, which he's a fall guy. Okay, Luigi ain't do that shit. Luigi ain't do it. I don't believe he did it 1 second. It's two different men, all right? The shooters look totally different. One looked like an Edomite male, and then all of a sudden they get this Italian-looking Northern Kingdom Jake. Because I believe the Luigi dude is a Jake, without a doubt, you know. But all of a sudden now he looks like a fucking Sicilian dude, right? The hell out of here. But regardless of it, the whole premise behind it was defend, depose, and deny, okay? Which is basically saying, look, we tired of your shit. We coming for you. So now these healthcare officials and these judges and child support law, they have extra security around them now because they understand that they are fucking people over, and people gonna get to the point that they just gonna start catching them and putting them out of their misery. And we at that time, man, all right? But anyway, it says a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. But it says, for because of their pride, the city should be troubled and houses should be destroyed and men should be afraid. And a man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. So it's what we're getting ready to see, man. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Lord's will you edified.